After hanging out at Scarebucks, the group decided to head over to the Monster High Gardens to relax and unwind. The garden was a beautiful yet eerie space, with towering plants that seemed to move on their own, their colors shifting in the moonlight. As they wandered through the winding paths, they eventually came across a familiar figure tending to the plants, a girl with vibrant green skin and pink hair styled like the petals of a flower. Venus McFlytrap. She was kneeling by a cluster of flytrap-like plants, speaking softly to them as she sprayed them with some sort of fertilizer. When she heard the group approaching, she stood up and turned around, her leafy clothing rustling like wind through the trees. "Hey, guys!" Venus greeted them with a smile, but her gaze quickly landed on Stacie, and her smile shifted into one of curiosity. "Wait, who's this?" Claudine was the first to speak. "Venus, this is Stacie Roberts. She's, well, human. She accidentally got enrolled at Monster High, but she's cool." Venus blinked, her bright green eyes widening slightly. "A human? At Monster High?" She took a few steps closer, her expression filled with wonder. "That's a first, and definitely not what I expected to see today." Stacie, feeling a little shy under Venus's curious gaze, waved awkwardly. "Yeah, it's been kind of a wild day. But everyone's been really welcoming so far." Venus tilted her head, intrigued. "A human in our school? I mean, I'm all for diversity, but this is something new. What made you decide to stay here, Stacie? Aren't you, a little freaked out?" Stacie thought about it for a moment, then shook her head. "At first, yeah, it was definitely a shock, but everyone's been great. And honestly, Monster High seems way more exciting than a regular human school. I feel like there's so much to learn here." Venus's lips curled into a smile, and she nodded approvingly. "I like that attitude. Plus, plants don't care if you're human or a monster, they'll listen to anyone who treats them right." She glanced down at the flytraps she had been tending to earlier. "As long as you don't get too close to these little guys, you'll be fine." Laguna laughed softly. "Venus has a point. But don't worry, Stacie. We've got your back if any of the plants get a little too hungry." Venus chuckled, crossing her arms. "So, what's the plan now? You sticking around for a while, Stacie?" Stacie exchanged a look with Frankie, Claudine, and the others, who all smiled encouragingly at her. "Yeah, I think I'm going to stay. It feels right." Venus nodded thoughtfully, her eyes sparkling with interest. "Well, I think you're brave, Stacie. Not many humans would be comfortable here, but you're handling it like a pro. If you ever need help, just ask. Monster High can be a jungle sometimes, literally." Deuce, who had been leaning against a nearby tree, added, "Venus isn't kidding. These plants have a mind of their own. Just don't fall asleep near them." Stacie laughed, feeling more at ease. "I'll keep that in mind." Frankie looked around at the lush, spooky garden, her bolt sparking slightly with excitement. Stacie, maybe we should show you some of the other cool places on campus. The catacombs, the creeporium, there's so much to see." Claude grinned, seeming much more relaxed now that Venus had given her approval. "And if you ever want to catch a fear-leading practice, Claudine and I can show you the ropes. Or you can come to one of my swim practices." Laguna added enthusiastically. "The Monster High pool is way different from what you're used to." Torale smirked, flicking her tail lazily. "And if you're up for a little excitement, there's always a prank or two to be pulled. Monster High has its fair share of mischief." Stacie looked at all of them, feeling a surge of warmth. These monsters, with all their quirks and strange abilities, had quickly become her friends. She wasn't just the human outsider anymore, she was part of something unique, and she was eager to embrace it. "Thanks, guys," Stacie said, her voice full of gratitude. "I can't wait to explore everything." Venus gave her a thumbs up. "You're going to fit in just fine here, Stacie. And who knows, you might end up teaching us a thing or two about humans." Stacie smiled, feeling more confident than ever. "Yeah, maybe, but for now, I think I've got a lot to learn from all of you."